But you know what else was potentially life-altering?
I don't know, Stuart. Please inform me.
Some alien abductions, mate. They'll probably
Nice.
alter something. So in that respect, just gonna have a quick sip of water because my mouth's getting a bit dry.
Sippy, sippy, sippy on that
Oh,
tippy.
that was good. Oh yeah, man. Don't ever say that when I drink my drink ever again.
Very sorry.
In
Apologies.
that respect, I'm gonna get cracking on my first
Go.
alien abduction story.
Let's have it.
It makes it sound like it's mine. It's not mine. I found it on Reddit.
Yeah. What happened to you?
They they put something in my bum, mate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. Enough of the laughter, Nick.
Okay, sorry.
Because this is about to get very real.
All right.
Okay. To keep this short, we just started high school and doing newspaper deliveries on our bicycles 6 days a week and taking turns during the week. We usually got up. It's I don't know, a group of friends. I think I don't know. It's not. It just throws you into it, mate. Sorry.
Okay.
We usually got up at about 4 a.m. to get the job done, and we'd be back ready for school. On Saturdays, we'd also take turns, and the guy who was off had to go over to the other ones after they finished delivering, so that the day shenanigans could start. Basically doing boys stuff. I was off one Saturday and woke up around 5 a.m. Ate, got dressed, jumped on my bike and headed over to my friend's house. When I got there it was silent, and usually they would be outside, him and his brother, or with another friend of ours. I got off my bike, walked into the yard and found the front door ajar, and it was dead silent in the house. Naturally the parents were still asleep. This was just as dawn started to break, about 6 a.m. in winter. As I walked into the living room, now take note, there were no cell phones to say, hey, I'm coming over at this time. I found my friend and another friend huddled up on the sofa, each with a weapon in their hands. The one had an old sword his dad kept around the house, and the other had a golf club. Sitting there, wide-eyed, just staring at me as I came into view. So I don't recall what was said, but what I do recall, what they said and showed me. But then, it's Reddit, mate. It's never worded well.
Okay.
So I don't recall what was said then, but what I do recall, what they said and showed me. They told me they came back from the deliveries at about 5:30 a.m, proceeded to take their bikes into the garage. So the garage was split at the end by diamond mesh fence wire from the bottom to the ceiling, and at the end of the garage. It means the car's nose would be close to it when parked. Behind the fencing, the bicycles and tool etc. got stored, as there was a separate door for access. The garage was also a separate building from the house. Okay, now you've got the picture of the garage. As they entered and pushed the bikes in, the light was off in the garage. Behind the car, a being started wailing or screaming. They described it as tall, almost ceiling height, with long arms, a big head, thin and very long fingers.
Okay.
Typical tall grey. In the few seconds that they stood frozen there, the being started hacking at the garage door, which was still closed, with its fingers. So they bolted out there, ran into the house, grabbed the makeshift weapons and just sat in utter fear on the sofa. I myself did not arrive there long after this all took place. The time frames I'm giving is also just estimates. Another point is that their bull terrier and fox terrier were nowhere to be seen as they entered the yard. So we sat there contemplating all this and waited for the sun to fully rise. At about 8 a.m, we head over to the garage and found nothing apart from long thin slashes all over the inside of the garage door. It separated the paint slightly with clear thin grooves cut into the metal. Okay, so we decided not to talk a lot about it, but it was a fun story to tell a bit at school. No one believed them naturally, and I mostly let them do the talking. So about 2 years later, the friend moved house from that one where all this happened. We are at one of his house parties, so he is there as well as the other guy. So I randomly recall that morning and asked the first guy, and he looks at me in a way like, what the fuck did you just say to me? So I'm taken aback because we're really good friends, the other one not so much. So I go ask him, he looks at me in the way of, what a weird question, dude, are you crazy or what? This has baffled me, and by their reactions I felt alienated, lol, but I did and never bothered to ask again. This is not my first time I've noticed this memory right thing going on. Any thoughts welcome? Might take long to respond.
So, okay. Firstly, it's a bit spooky. It's a bit of a spooky boy. It sounds like there was just an animal, right? Surely there's just an animal who was just scratching at the garage door and like got on its back legs or something and just looked tall as fuck, like a fucking, I don't know, wolf or some shit. Scratched it. And then they all saw it as kids and were like, oh my fuck, it's an alien. And then literally got like haunted by it and they just repressed that memory.
Yeah, I think you might be absolutely spot on, mate. That's exactly my thoughts. I was like, none of this sounds like an alien. All of it sounds like an animal in your garage.
The only thing the only reason it sounds like an alien is because they've said it was an alien. But if you look at any of the quote evidence, it's just that there were scratches on their garage door. Right?
Yeah, that they thought they saw a tall thing, but they were it's clearly late,
just an animal.
Early morning, dark, and they didn't see anything. And also, as if the fact that the whole memory wipe thing is any proof of anything. No, if anything, that's surely proof that this wasn't an alien because they've just forgotten about it.
They've just forgotten because it wasn't that big of a deal.
There are so many things in my childhood that I can't remember, and someone might pop up and be like, "Do you remember when that happened?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah, that was weird." And at the time, I remember being like, "Oh yeah, that was like the top of my whatever I was thinking of at the time." And now I haven't thought about it since.
Yeah,
doesn't mean I've memory wiped it.
And the main thing here for me is what you were saying before about, if aliens could, why should they? And in this instance, if aliens could come down, in the garage? Why was one alien just crouched behind a car like heebity-jeebity and then scratched that fucking garage door and then fucked off? Why? Exactly. What did he want? Why?
And again, similar to ghost stories, the detail. It's like, and it was a tall being with long fingers and a grey thing. It's like, cool, you've just described what aliens look like in movies. Yeah. Congratulations on not being. It
sounds like kids' imagination. The kids obviously saw like some sort of animal scratching at the garage, were shocked by it because you probably would be, and then were like, "Fucking, it was fucking aliens." Or one of them was like, "It was an alien." They just pegged it. Like,
exactly.
That's not
the fact that they were scared just proves that they saw something, and then the fact that they didn't remember it 2 years later just proves that they forgot it. That is literally all this story proves. Nothing about aliens is dumb.
I think I agree.
Great, Nick. Have you got another one for me?
Yeah, I've got one more for you.
Okay, I really sincerely hope that this kind of makes me think like, oh, maybe it was an alien abduction, because I need a bit of that, a bit of excitement.
So, this one's called the Pascagoula alien abduction, right?
The what, sorry?
Pascagoula.
Classic Pascagoula.
Think it's a place in America? No idea. Right. In 1973, right, two co-workers were fishing. This is what I said about fishing's a big part of this.
Yeah.
Two co-workers were fishing off a pier on the Pascagoula River when they heard a buzzing sound, right, and saw flashing blue lights. Okay. A UFO appeared, and 3 humanoid creatures dragged them on board, right? And inside of the craft, they were examined for about 20 minutes before being levitated back to the pier. Afterwards, they went to the police station to report what happened. While the detectives left the room, the two of them were alone and they spoke about it. But the conversation was unknowingly recorded, right? They didn't know they were being recorded. It was recorded by the police. I can't find the recording, but there is a transcript of the recording, right?
Okay.
So this is 2 guys, Charlie and Calvin, okay? So Charlie says, "I've never seen nothing like that before in my life. You can't make people believe." Calvin, "I don't want to keep sitting here. I want to see a doctor." Charlie, "They better wake up and start believing. They better start believing." Calvin, "You see how that damn door come right up?" Charlie, "I don't know how it opened, son. I don't know." Calvin, "It just laid up and just like that, those son bitches, just like that, they come out." Charlie, "I know, you can't believe it. You can't make people believe it." Calvin, "I paralyzed right then. I couldn't move." Charlie, "They won't believe it. They gonna believe it one of these days. Might be too late. I knew all along they was people from other worlds up there. I knew all along. I never thought it would happen to me." What do you think, mate?
Doesn't really fill me with hope for alien existence, if I'm honest.
No, I will agree. I
mean, first it's just like, okay, so there was a transcript for the audio thing, right? That doesn't like, if you can't find the source, then
no.
I have no reason to believe that no one could have just written a translation.
No. I think it means the audio is never released because obviously it's police audio.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying.
But they've released the transcript.
Okay,
So it's an official source, the transcript. But I do agree.
Okay, so let's assume that the transcript hasn't been altered or faked. Does it prove? Again, it just proves that they think they were abducted by aliens.
I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't prove any specific evidence. It's just that they thought it happened.
Exactly. So it all just comes down to whether or not you trust what these people are saying. And it sounds bad, but I mean, it just sounds like their heads just went to the alien thing, and it's like, look, you maybe. And when you first started telling that story, it sounded like they just got arrested.
Yeah, definitely.
Blue flashing lights and a UFO, and they were dragged.
Maybe they were just maybe they were just so drunk they didn't realise that's what being arrested is.
Yeah, exactly. Although
came up.
I would say that I don't usually think arresting involves what lying them down on the table.
Wait, what?
And inserting things into them.
That's what happened. That's what happened to me when I got it.
Jesus, mate.
I will add.
You better write this down on Reddit, mate.
Oh my god! Just posted now. There's a couple of extra details that I didn't mention just because I just clicked on. There's a link to
like the most groundbreaking extra details.
Yeah, it just
the extra
proves
detail
the whole
is that there's
thing.
actual video evidence of it happening.
Oh yeah. By the way, watch this. No, it's so basically the large flashing blue lights were on an oval-shaped object, 30 to 40 foot across and 8 to 10 foot high. Apparently. They claimed that they were conscious but paralysed, while 3 creatures with, quote, robotic slit mouths and crab-like pincers took them aboard and examined them.
I mean,
what's a robotic slit mouth? What is that? Do you say they're a robot?
Honestly, that sounds like a very derogatory term for female genitalia, for someone that really hates women.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they definitely sound like it could be that
Genuinely,
sort of thing.
what? So a robotic slit mouth and crab-like claws.
Crab-like pincers, yeah.
You could... immediately, I cannot take it seriously.
No.
And obviously, like, I'll eat my words if it turns out fucking aliens with crab-like pincers and robotic slit mouths suddenly come down to Earth and enslave the human race.
Yeah,
but right now,
sure as heck
I'm
I'm not
believing
believing that.
Like, you sound like you just watched an episode of Futurama, mate.
Yeah, here's another thing on it. Apparently, afterwards, they did a lie detector test on him. It seems to be all the rage in these cases, and it came back positive, like as in he didn't lie. But then it was found that the person that administered the was, quote, an inexperienced operator.
So.
Cool. What's the point?
So
of
basically,
even
it might
that?
not have even been on. I bet it wasn't even on.
No, I bet it wasn't. I bet it was just a plain white piece of paper. He didn't lie. Yeah. It's making me believe.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, we saw a big light and it was a UFO, and it's like, there's so many reasons why you probably saw a big light. I mean, the fact that there's a huge light is obviously going to distract you from whatever that object is. Could have been anything behind that light, and you'd have been I don't know what it is.
It could be anything. It could be a floodlight, like someone playing a prank. It could be a shooting star. I've seen so many videos online that it literally looks like a UFO. And
also, like, I would be much more likely to just believe that someone attacked these people and didn't want to be seen, so they shone a light on them, and then a group of them dragged them and then tried to do shit to them.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
Don't fucking know. Like, why is that less believable?
Why is the aliens? Yeah, why is alien abduction the lower believability than maybe anything else at this point?
And they were
literally anything else.
And they say like, and then we were levitated back down to Earth. You don't know if you were levitated. You just know that you were coming down. I assume, right? Like if I was dropped somewhere, I would be like, and I levitated down to Earth. But I just went down.
You can't levitate down. That's just fooling.
Unless he's saying he saw someone else levitate. How do you know?
No, you can't levitate down. You can just. I guess he's saying that
he floated down.
He floated down and didn't just crush into the floor like you would if you fell from a height.
That would suggest levitation.
Wouldn't be levitation. But
no, look, honestly, I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer after that one, mate.
This is a